All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Roleplaying Unlimited presents Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. It is another Tuesday evening, and we're excited to be back in your living rooms or whatever room you happen to be watching us in. With me again on this side of the table is Justin and James playing Nadir and Grulok alike. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on? Good to be here. Hopefully, I'll be in better condition soon because my character is currently at 1 hit point, and that kind of sucks. So hopefully, I get some healing here really quickly.
Heard? And the heart and soul of the team appears to have been inflicted with a silent, confusion, or feeble mind spell, or possibly all three. So
that's going to be all three on that one. I apologize on that. Because being the heart and soul of the team makes it hard to hear things sometimes due to your greatness that exudes from your body, like it does for me. So I'm just going to say hello. I'll apologize to absolutely no one, and go from there.
If you are going to play it in that respect, though, where it's hard to hear, I encourage you to pick up the classic Stone Cold Steve Austin trope. Just what? What?
What?
Exactly. Like, follow up your statements with it, too. Like, suck a butt. What?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, the possibilities are truly endless. On the opposite side of the table there, we have Squee still trying to get away with stealing that shield, but John is on holiday break this week, so his character will be NPC, kind of lingering in the background, maybe present if necessary. Otherwise, we have Jason and Don. They're playing Dag and Celestial. Hello, fellas.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Ready to get the dwarf out and kick some more demons and devils' asses.
The righteous shall always prove the greater.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I, of course, am tragically HP, the Dungeon Master, joined here on this side of the table by none other than the Fett Man himself, Boba Fett, coming live to Disney Plus here in less than 2 weeks. Should be an awesome experience. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. A brief touch on what we did last game, because it was our first session in a few months, so we had a good recap before we get into the roleplay itself, and much of last session was entirely roleplay. We didn't really have too much combat to speak of. But your characters... Let's see, we made our way to the Tower of Erm, where we met Mordenkainen himself, voiced by Karl Brutananadaluski. So that was an interesting experience. Just, hey, what's going on? I'm Mordenkainen. How's it going there, fellas? I know you're seeking my legendary knowledge, but I'm like a very busy dude, and I don't have time to be telling you where the Bleeding Citadel is, but there's like a lesser wizard, somebody who might be able to help you, like somebody who nobody knows, and he's over here at this obelisk. And that's where our characters are at present time.
You kind of sound like a punk to me, but I mean, anyway, continue.
Oh, are you finished? Well, then allow me to retort. Here at the obelisk, very, very accurately represented on the map, I might add. It is the tall obelisk with the 8 standing stones surrounding it. And these stones each represent one of the 8 schools of magic. And this lesser wizard, so to speak, I don't even think that anybody questioned him as to what his name was. He certainly didn't offer his name. He was kind of cursing and babbling incoherently to himself upon your guys' approach. And when you guys got there, he basically kind of took over the conversation. Didn't really say that he could help you guys out, just that, hey, why don't you guys help me out with this ritual here? And some of your more arcane-minded characters were of the understanding that, okay, yeah, I can understand what he's trying to do here, so let's try to help him out. And long story short with that, the ritual was a complete failure, and many of your characters were afflicted with lightning damage. in addition to other negative effects, Squee was the only one, I believe, who got a positive effect in the form of a +2 AC for 24 hours. I could be mistaken on the only one who gained a positive effect. If so, feel free to correct me now.
Nope, you're all good on that.
Yep, that's how Nadir took most of his hit points, I believe, from that lightning zot. And that's where we ended the session last time, after the failed ritual and the decision of, okay, so apparently this is going to take a little bit more than what we have here. And it's at this point, picking up at the current stage in time. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, my connection to the server is interrupted. That's always a pleasant message to get. Alright, creatures. This is a very large module. So many moving pieces at once you gotta keep track of. So pardon the delays when they do occur. There it is. Okay. So the Barlgura, a demon in fact, readily identifiable by Celestial and possibly Justin as well. Why don't you go ahead and roll an Arcana check or other appropriate skill there, Justin, and let's see if Nadir is able to identify this thing. Yeah, you're pretty sure that is a demon, not a devil. And you guys have not really had any face-to-face encounters with demons. You guys have fled from them and fought with them on occasion, but not really any diplomacy interactions, so to speak, until now. So as the cackling human inside of the circle of stones drops his magical disguise to reveal this hideous abomination standing before you, it just kind of slumps its shoulders in defeat and, like, sits down and almost looks like it's pouting. Like, it kind of crosses its arm and just...
What in the world are you trying to do?
I'm trying to free myself from this prison. I've been stuck in it for time. I don't know how long.
So you weren't lying about that?
I lied about nothing. No.
You lied the fact that you disguised yourself as a wizard in order to get us to assist you, and then you probably don't even know where the Bleeding Tower is.
I have wizard powers. That's not a lie to look as if something else. You would not deal with me in other fashion. I do know where the Bleeding Citadel is. I do.
I don't know why, but I believe him.
Yes, the orc. He speaks wisely.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I've said this for much time, and I don't get. Anyway, yeah, I think he's telling the truth.
Truly, this is one who speaks for your collective as a heart and a soul.
Yes,
he does not, and
yes,
he's
I
not
do.
a heart and soul of this group.
I absolutely a heart and soul of this group.
See, he agrees. He knows his worth.
Thank you. Oh, it's the greatest day of my life.
What are these magics being cast? Do you have other ideas on how to free me from this wretched prison?
As I lay there in a crumpled heap, I just kind of put my hand on my chest and mutter a few words, and some of my wounds closed. Like,
oh, wonderful magics indeed your group does possess. I'm certain that we will be able to find some agreement that gets you where you need to go and gets me out of this place.
Where are you trying to get to if you're trying to get out of this prison?
Oh, I wouldn't even know where to go. I have to imagine everything I know is long since changed. I just desire to be free. even that hot, stinging wind that annoys you to no end. I cannot feel it inside of this prison. I would give so much just to be able to feel that torture.
Okay, so instead of having us randomly touch these obelisks and these little stands to do more damage to us, what clues do you have to get you out of this prison?
Allow me to consult the notes from the Baldur's Gate module. I'll return with you shortly.
What do you say?
I think he broke the fourth wall on that one.
We didn't break any walls. That's why he's still trapped here.
I'm so confused right now.
There is only one that I'm positive would have the answer to this puzzle. And it is a name that is well known, but perhaps one that you may be hesitant to approach. I bid you do not let names and reputations dissuade you from the path that you will need to take. But do you know the name Mephistopheles?
I am familiar with it.
Yes, he is the one that will be able to free me from this prison, to solve the riddle, the puzzle, that to get me out of here. If you can win him over, he may require a favor or some kind of agreement. But if you can gain his agreement and get me out of this, I promise to help you find the Bleeding Citadel. I do know where it is.
Well, what if Mephistopheles knows where it is, and then we don't need to free you?
Oh, I pray to the darkest gods out there that this is not the case, but this is the only card I have left to play, so I must play what the hand that is given to me.
You mean the lightest gods, right? Not the dark, but the light. He like winks at him, like overtly, obviously winks at him.
Oh no, I make no secret about my allegiances. You cannot disguise what I am. Just as none of you can disguise your forms as well.
So, if I said I would eviscerate you where you stand, if you didn't say what I just told you to say, you would still stick to your guns, as they say.
It would be both a blessing and a curse, because for you to eviscerate me, you would have to get through the wall of this impenetrable prison. So, if you were able to breach that wall, the potential for my freedom exists. So, yes, I will stick to my guns.
It's a very wise spirit in there. Very wise.
I, too, am the heart and soul of my group.
There's literally one of you.
He looks back at nobody and just says, "Shut up! I am too!"
Nadir, can you see somebody over there?
No, but I will ask you this. Is the reason Mephistopheles can release you, is that reason because he's the one that put you here?
Maybe.
So what was your reason for getting thrown in here anyways?
Well, it was not Mephistopheles that put me inside of this prison. It was the Archdevil Bel, the former ruler of this plane that we find ourselves on. I was caught stealing soul coins.
What do you know about Zariel?
I know only the name, and that I'm not sure if it is a male or a female, but that they were involved in a great conflict here during the time that I was imprisoned, so I did not see or hear much of this conflict. But I am given to understand that since its conclusion, Zariel has overthrown Bel.
Well, bells aren't that dangerous. They just make noise. Kind of annoying. They're kind of hard, but I wouldn't worry about bells.
Grulock.
Not the little ringing bell, the demon, the
I'm
devil.
clearly a big one. I'm not a fool. I'm talking about the big bells.
Your foolishness has not been denied as of yet.
Right, so listen to what he's saying. He's very wise.
Perhaps
Very
I was
well.
wrong
Where
about
shall
this
we
one.
find this Mephistopheles?
Oh, please make sure that you understand his name correctly. It is Mephistopheles. Do not call him Mephistopheles. He may take great offense.
Okay, so where do we find Mephistopheles?
Oh my goodness. He looks to Grulock and just says, "Make sure that you are the one who speaks for your group when you come to the place. I'm not certain that this one will understand it correctly."
No, he's very wise. Look, look at his hair. Look at his hair. Just look at it. Look at it.
It is indeed
plug in the
impressive hair, but
But under
I
that-
am not
under
certain
the
that
scalp-
Mephistopheles will be impressed.
Well, no, look under the scalp. He has some brains in there. I believe him. I think he can do well. But I will be there to supervise.
I believe
So what's
him,
your name, anyways?
I am called Ubalux. And your name is? Hey, boys.
I didn't offer my name.
You did not. I asked.
Yes. However, I'm not comfortable giving it to you at the moment.
Wait, did you say your name was Stupid Box?
Oh, gosh. I am called Uba. Uba Lux.
Oh, common spelling. Gotcha. Got it.
All right. We'll see what we can do to help you out.
He pins the appropriate location on your map, shown here as the Mirror of Mephistar, which seems to indicate another sojourn across the River Styx. Because yes, we on the west bank. We got to be on the east bank. I'm on the north side. I'm on the south side.
All right, let us head on our way.
Don't go anywhere while we're gone.
Oh, that's very funny. If only I could summon the courage to laugh at such a horrible joke. I take it back. That was actually funny.
Taking pleasure in someone's torment is not becoming.
It is the way of things here. I would indeed take pleasure in your torment as a paladin of Deer.
I take no pleasure in your torment, and the only reason I'm helping is because you have something that we absolutely need. So don't make any mistake on that.
All right. If I could ask but one favor of you, Holy Paladin, sir.
And that is?
To move your microphone closer to your mouth so that you can be more clearly heard during the live stream.
Listen, Stupid
You mean like
Box.
that?
That is most excellent.
Listen, Stupid Box. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're starting to talk gibberish now.
I suggest we go.
Nadir,
Yeah.
I'm running this shindig. We will go when we're ready.
We
I
are
think
going
we'll-
now.
I was about to say that. Thank you for finishing my sentence. That's very unbecoming of a paladin, but I was just about to say we should go.
I'm just walking away.
Yep, I head back to the vehicle as well.
When we get back to the vehicle, I will say, all right. Mephistopheles is the lord of, I believe, the 8th layer of hell. There's only 9 layers, so he's number 2. We must be careful how we interact with this one. He has great power.
Like he can control your mind.
Probably.
Oh,
I think what we need to do is try to find some time to rest as well, so that if we are going to see him, if things go awry, we need to be at full strength.
That was a good, wise counsel.
I mean, that makes sense, but I guarantee you, if things go awry and he initiates combat with us, it won't matter.
Very true.
Why would he be concerned with what's going on up here when he's ruling down there?
Who knows the minds of devils?
Okay, back to the war machine, the demon grinder. And don't forget, we also have that devil cycle as well that we found on the side of the road last session. Now our official scout vehicle. But we've got a bit of a trek here ahead of us, so let's backtrack to the obelisk and let's just see how long it takes us to get where we're going. Now, if your characters are up here on this plateau overlooking the river Styx, you can kind of see this tower across the river. Off in the distance to the east, you can make out Fort Knucklebone. And then, of course, the bridge that you guys took to get here to the obelisk itself. I guess the across the river is kind of out of the question unless you guys have a means of flying over. But given the two paths, Fort Knucklebone or across the bridge, which would you guys take?
Probably towards Fort Knucklebone.
Yeah, I think so. That's where I would want to go.
Yeah, we have kind of allies there, so.
Right, that is where you guys got your war machine, your initial one, I believe. Alright then, so rolling off towards the fort. James, roll me a die 10, please.
Okay.
What you know about 7?
7?
Okay, so the first stage... Pardon me. The first stage of our journey takes us toward Fort Knucklebone, and as the sun descends and then rises in quick fashion, or whatever the thing is that is providing light down here, you guys inexplicably find yourselves on the other side of the river once again. Presumably somewhere over here near the monument to Tiamat, because you guys can see this massive dragon skull set into the mountain a lot closer to you than you might care for.
I will be happy when we get out of this place.
Just keep driving, I guess. Hopefully we stay on this side of the river.
Hey, Solafil, you ever think about asking this map why stuff like that keeps happening?
I don't think the map has a sentience. I think it's more of a programmed response by location.
I'll take that as a no, then.
No, I have not asked. Oh, map, why do you know why we keep bouncing around this terrain at random?
It is because you don't know where you are going. You are not native to this land, and it is because you will not give the shield to Squee.
And it's at that you guys all kind of turn at the same time, and you notice that Squee is like trying to throw his voice very unsuccessfully just to try to coax with that shield out of your hands one more time.
I smack him across the nose with the map. Bad Squee. Bad Squee.
Worth a try. I cannot do the voice as well as John, but it's fun nonetheless.
I, visibly and audibly sigh when you strike him, even though it's with the map. It's like, keep your wits about you, people.
I think this place is affecting you, Celophiel. You should be careful.
This from the one who's already been changed to lawful evil.
Yeah, I can almost smell the taint coming off of you.
No. Well,
Ew!
That's the actual taint. Taint you very much.
It's for me. I have been dealing with an inner darkness my entire life. My father is a devil of this plane. I know what it is to have that darkness within me. I know how to keep it at bay. If you need advice, I will help you.
I feel fine.
I appreciate it. I'm going to go through some of my, while I'm writing this Demon Grinder, I'm going to go through some meditative and, calming exercises that I learned from being in Paladin school.
Okay. Good old Paladin school. PS 101. Go ahead and roll religion for that, Dawn. And what do you got going there, Jason?
Dag just rolls the vehicle to a stop. And he's looking around, particularly at the large dragon skull. And trying to gain sense of direction. I know it's chaotic here, but that's kind of the point.
Right.
The dice rolls begin.
Jason, roll a land vehicles or navigation or something in that vein.
What do you see, Dad? Is there something there?
I don't know yet.
Oh, man.
Trying to figure out what's going on. Why we keep moving across this river every time we need to get somewhere. We seem to awfully conveniently be where we need to be, or at least on which side of the river.
I was actually glad because we don't have to deal with the ferry or whatever that is.
Right. You know that saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth?
Zephyr goes.
Yeah. This isn't a horse.
Nay.
Indeed. But what do you plan to do about it?
Somebody's helping us.
No, it's just my expert leadership. And you following my direction and my lead. That's what's getting us to where we need to go.
Dag looks up, and there's a cloud that looks suspiciously like the cartoon dungeon master from the old D&D cartoon. Just like constantly following your group everywhere you go.
Now I just need to figure out where Venger is. Oh, wait a minute, over there by the Tiamat skull.
No, he and Tiamat are mortal enemies.
In response to Dag's question, I'll say it's entirely possible it could have something to do with Sildafiel's undying devotion to Tyr. It's not unheard of for the higher powers to have an effect here as well.
No, that's a good point, but still. No, being cautious doesn't hurt. Either way, I got that feeling we're being watched and being helped. And I hope it's not, a nefarious reason.
Well, we're not going to be helped by staying put, so we should continue on our way.
Yes, what he said.
Dag takes another look, just from any major landmarks he can see, from the dragon skull to the river to whatever else happens to be nearby before he continues on.
Okay. Yeah, nothing really makes heads or tails to you. It just seems like as soon as you start to establish a sense of direction, the skull, or the skull, is no longer on your left side; it's on your right side. And now the vehicle is facing the west rather than facing the east. But that can't be because you didn't turn it around, and it just continually adds to the chaos the more that you try to put an actual pin on your direction. And you're starting to gain an understanding of how the cartographer who drew the map of this place lost his mind.
So with that in mind, I'll just say, to stay focused on our mission here. Our immediate goal is to get to the Mirror of Mephistar. The reason for that is so that ultimately we can save Elturel. Always keep that in your heart and in your mind. If we can make this effect work for us, then we will.
And just remember, the shield speaks into all of your minds. If you wish for a shortcut, so that you do not have to deal with these archdevils and powerful rulers of Avernus, you can always seek a way to free me from my prison, and I will help you.
Oh, well, okay, well, that's an easy choice. Like, okay, if he can get us there pretty quick, shouldn't we engage this kind act?
First of all, we don't know what it would take to free him. Second,
good point.
Second, freeing him would just release another huge obstacle in our way to getting freedom. Because if you haven't noticed, mostly demons and devils tend to lie.
If I may make a suggestion, you were just at the tower of the legendary Archmage himself. Surely if there's one who could free me from this imprisonment.
I don't think he'll want to help us. He seems kind of aloof.
Well, apparently some people, looking up at Grolog, has rendered that option a moot point.
Well, I don't see any moots around here. There's no things full of water. I don't even know how that would help us. So sometimes it don't make sense. No, there's no moots here. And I'm pretty sure you're saying it wrong.
Yes. Shall we continue then?
We should, yes.
Very well.
The longer we dawdle, the worse it gets for Elturel and those aboard it.
All right. It seems like this is going to be a bit of a journey, as it seems like you don't make much ground before your exhaustion level starts to wear down. And Celephiel had suggested a potential long rest. Is that something we want to try to do? We haven't really, again, gained too much ground, but time-wise it kind of feels right.
Yeah, let's do a long rest.
Yeah, resting is necessary. We don't want to be too strung out down here in hell.
I'm shocked that Dawn is not saying, and how many levels up do we get with this long rest?
I was thinking it.
Yeah, he is. Okay. In conjunction with your long rest, everybody except for James, roll a wisdom saving throw, and I will roll the saving throw for Squee.
I have advantage because I'm a tiefling, right?
Dawn, you rolled high. That's good.
Thank you. Having a +7 helps, so I still haven't broken the 10 barrier yet.
Oh, goodness gracious.
If I need to use my inspiration to get that advantage, I will.
Yeah, we can roll with that. Go ahead and turn that over, please. Does anybody want to spend their inspiration on Squee so that he can gain the natural 20 as opposed to the 7?
I'll give it to him.
All right. Go ahead and drop those down on the table or deal them to me, please. Okay, so James, you will remain the only evil character in the group that we know of.
Fuck yes. Excuse my French, I apologize.
I don't know much French, but I don't think that was French.
Yes, it was. Mind your business.
Oui, oui, monsieur.
Croissant?
The next morning, if you want to call it that, you guys awaken to a radically different landscape and weather pattern as well. As looking on our central virtual tabletop here, you can see the massive magical lightning storms here. And nearby Elturel, just off to the west, which even though you're in the center almost of these lightning storms, you can see Elturel off in the distance up above you, and you can also kind of see like the rolling cloud of battle that's still taking place at the base of the city. And it looks like, based on your last recollection of where Elturel was compared to where it is now, if it's like 300 feet up, it's probably descended a good 100 feet since last time you guys were here.
Well, that's not good. Let's get moving. As he starts up the demon grinder and hauls ass.
I'm just glad to see it's still up there, honestly. How's everyone feeling after last night? I feel like I had quite an inner battle last night. I'm a little drained, I'd say, but feeling good.
I feel fine.
Well, I felt better, but not bad, considering.
I just kind of eyed Grulok.
What?
Feeling alright?
I feel amazing, thank you. How are you?
As I said, I feel, even though I'm well rested, I still feel like I had one of my tough nights of inner turmoil.
Turmoil doesn't do anything to me. I'll just crush it.
That's good.
Thank you.
Let's get out of this lightning storm before it affects us.
Everybody roll a percentile, please.
Was that everyone?
Everyone! And almost on cue, as Dag is starting up the vehicle and you guys are starting to roll out, and Nadir says, let's get out of here before this lightning starts messing with us, Selephiel gets struck directly with a bolt of lightning for 25 points of damage.
I just fucking healed.
Good morning!
I immediately like dropped to the ground like, go, go, go!
Look out.
And Dag puts his soul into moving the shit around. Let's get the hell out of here.
Alright. And you start hauling ass through the lightning field as fast as you can towards the nearest exit, really, even though that exit is south and taking you not east as you're planning on, because you don't want to stay in this lightning field any longer than you have to. Unfortunately, you are not out of the lightning field by a good mile when all of a sudden the demon grinder just comes to an abrupt stop. Like, just, you can hear just, like, it just dies.
Drop another coin into it. I don't like doing it, but he's gonna do it.
All right, and is that one of the coins on our party treasury?
Yeah, we'll use one of those.
Okay, 1 second here, since I am the party treasurer. I will make that adjustment accordingly. Now we have 4. Okay, 4 soul coins. Very cool. And that seems to replenish the fuel reserves on the demon grinder, and it starts back up, and you're able to start trudging your way back out of this lightning field again. And we take a nice detour around the hell wasp nests that are ahead of us, because we've been there before, and we are not interested in repeating that experience with those nasty hell wasps. Looking across the way at the lake where the Tower of is, you can actually see that the tower is not present at this time. So however long has passed since you were last here, it appears that Mordenkainen has passed on to somewhere else. And unfortunately, the fates are not with you in giving you a free transport across the river, despite your best hopes, because you're approaching the Stygian docks, and lo and behold, you're on the western bank. And that little barbed devil that runs the place comes floating down towards you guys, and he's like, welcome back, it's so good to see you.
I wish I could say the same.
Oh, there's no need to be rude.
Alright, what do you want this time?
Well, this time there's no need for the favor. I can tell you that somebody else has already come through and helped me with that, so unfortunately that option is off the table.
So what's the payment then?
Okay, that tells me nothing.
Oh, well, I just thought you'd be interested. Goodness, you're all rather temperamental today. All right then, the cost is 3 soul coins.
Dag kind of looks up, squinting one eye at him. I'll give you 1.
You'll give me 2 more than that if you wish to get across my river at my dock.
So you're just telling me, make sure I get this, that you just pull us across?
He points up at the giant crane that has previously lifted your vehicle from one side of the river to the other.
Oh, he doesn't. I mean, the comment stands. He says that just how he said it.
Sure, and that's his reaction. He just points up to the crane.
So yes.
So, 3 coins then? 3 coins in a fountain.
Tell you what, you mind if I get a closer look at that crane? It is pretty interesting.
I think you can see it close enough from where you're at. Look, from the look of that tool belt you've got on you there, I don't quite like the prospect of you getting too close to it.
Okay, no worries. Dag looks to Celestial. Well,
Do we have any other choice?
we actually do.
Oh, pray tell, what is that? Do I have a competitor I've not heard about yet? Is there another dock?
It'll cost you 3 coins to find out.
Oh, he truly is cruel. I like this dwarf.
What is our other option?
I'll back up the demon grinder and move a little ways away. Well, it seems that we keep bouncing on either side. Seems to happen just about every time we start and stop.
Yeah, but it is also a pretty big risk. I mean, we could end up way more south than we would want to, instead of being across the river.
Well,
Are you
theoretically-
really comfortable dealing with souls as money?
No, but theoretically speaking, we could pay this man 3 coins. He could move us across the river. We could go driving for a little while and find ourselves on the other side of the river again.
Too true.
Exactly.
All right, let's pick a random direction and see if our fate holds up.
We're gonna roll around for a while and try to burn some time in the hopes that we get a instaport across the river. Then,
As far as, I mean, Dag's just not comfortable using the coins in any fashion. He really hesitated using it as fuel in the machine, but that seems to be our only way
oh,
to
for
get
sure.
around.
I'm going to
I can-
unroll
I
the
can do
map, and everybody come over here, take a look at this. And I want you to embed that into your mind. Just that image. That's the only thing I want you to think of is our destination. And I want everyone thinking the same thing. Just think about our destination.
Okay, let's see 4 intelligence saving throws, please.
Rulock beat me. This is ridiculous.
Well, darn. Okay, so Nadir and Grulok are both just, like, stunned for almost a minute after looking at the map, and you don't remember why you were looking at the map, who was showing you the map. You don't really remember anything about it other than you looked at the map and you were just kind of... Your best description would be you were in a state of limbo and vertigo. Like, you were just kind of... You didn't know where up was, you didn't know where down was, you were just constantly twisting and turning, and when you come out of it, you feel, like, very, like, sick to your stomach.
Oh.
Was that the same effect for all of us?
That's just for Nadir and Grulok. The other two of you, you feel just fine.
I did something. I don't feel so good. Oh.
If you feel like you need to throw up, do it outside of the vehicle.
If you're gonna spew, spew in this.
No, I think I'm okay there, but... What were we doing?
We were concentrating on our destination to hope that it would put us closer to where we're supposed to be.
With that, Dag begins driving.
Alright.
Well, I will focus, as I said, my mind and my heart on our destination and the reason why we need to get there.
Alright, and are you driving north or south there, Jason?
That would have been... let's just say south.
Alright, into the new marshlands and the burned lands that we've not been into before. Looks like some powerful windy plains as well, with a nice lake of demon ichor. That's always a pleasant sight. And that is our road, Master Dwarf. It does take
Demonic
some
or what-
time.
I forget what we could use that for. That was usable for something. I forget what.
It can potentially inflict a variety of mental maladies on people that you affect it with, like if you manage to put it on like your arrows or your swords or what have you, but it also can affect people who are using it if they're not careful with the application.
For some reason, I remember something else, but that's okay. No worries.
Okay, yeah, there should be a handout for it too in the...
Yeah, I was just looking for it.
Yeah, it's buried in there somewhere, I do believe. But in any case, the journey is a bit tedious going through these lands because there's a lot of changing elevations that work pretty well for your devil bike, but it's hard to get the demon grinder through. So there's a lot of instances where it's beneficial to use the bike to try to go up that hill to see what the future terrain looks like before trying to get the grinder up there and then realizing we can't make it down the other side. And in that respect, just cruising around through this day, we run into the problem of, okay, now the bike is almost out of fuel as well. And because we're doing so much slow back and forth travel here, we're kind of burning a lot of fuel for the demon grinder as well. So at what point do we spend the amount of soul coins in just using the crane to get across the river than we spend driving around hoping that we're going to get across the river?
Well, I would propose that we don't even need to use the bike since I can fly and scout out that way.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, and I can fly on my horse, so...
I mean, the point about the demon grinder's fuel remains, but I don't think we need to use the bike.
We certainly don't need to use the bike, but with the smaller lightning storms that are prevalent in this area, it's possible that they'll be affecting you more in the sky than on the ground. So that's kind of the trade-off in that respect. You might soak some damage flying around scouting, or you might spend some soul coins for fuel.
I would refrain from flying if we're in a lightning storm.
Yeah, of course. So we're just kind of trying to optimize it as best we can, which basically just kind of ends up in the same result, where maybe we've got a little bit more fuel in the demon grinder and our flying characters haven't ventured out into the lightning any more than they've needed to, so you guys haven't taken any damage. But we're still at the same kind of epiphany. So I guess the question is, do we want to proceed forward with this, or do we want to try to turn around?
Let's turn around. Let's head towards the fewer coins that we need to use, the better. And if
Proceed.
we
should proceed. I have no problem with the coins.
Oh, you're coming in really low there, brother.
I said proceed. Proceed forward.
With that, I'll head back to the bridge, the crane.
Is this the way forward?
I believe it is.
Alright, heading back to the Stygian dock then. You guys arrive on the western banks just as you are reaching your next end of day and your next need for a long rest. So do we want to take it on this side of the river, or do we want to take it on the other side?
we'll take it on this side.
Alright. We're gonna need those same wisdom saving throws from everybody who is not James. right.
I can
How
bump that up.
about sweet? Say what?
I can bump that up with 2d4 if I need to.
Oh, good. Yeah, you only need to bump it up by 1, but that will prove beneficial. And Squee just made it by the hair of his chinny chin chin.
An 11-11.
Yep.
So the question I have then is, if I'm using that ability, is it used for this period after the rest?
Nah, you can still have it for the next long day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's see if the Fates were with us last night, and we are across the river. You are still on the western side of the river here. So Mr. Barb Devil is looking for his 3 soul coin payment if we wish to get across the river here. Hello? Anybody there?
We can pay him now, but just realize that someday we will take vengeance for every single one of those coins.
I mean, it's just money. I mean, are you not familiar with the concept of bartering?
Not with souls.
Oh,
Just give him the coins.
you have so much to learn here, young man. Are these coins also from the party inventory, or are you guys reducing some of the strain on your character sheets?
I have none on my character sheet.
Okay.
I've only got the one that I can carry, so.
I have 2. That's
believe
pretty
I-
much my max.
I believe I had. There's 4. I have 4.
Are you spending 3 then, or am I taking 3 out of the party inventory?
Just take it out in party, that's fine.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, that will leave us 1 soul coin for the party inventory. And your journey across the river Styx is complete. Now you just have a nice long journey north to the Mirror of Mephistar. And we will begin that part of the journey on the other side of our 10 or so minute break here. Plan to be back about 7:30, 7:33-ish. So, yeah, we will catch you all then. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight for another episode of Descent into Avernus. Should be pretty interesting if we actually do meet Mephistopheles here pretty soon. That's 2 major encounters, 2 games in a row, Mordenkainen and Mephistopheles. Thank you very much. We'll see you in about 10:15. Are you with us? All right, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up there? How you doing? How was your break?
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Fresh cup of coffee for the GM here, so ready to go as well. Thank you to our viewers for hanging in there tonight, and we are going to jump into the second half here of our session. Maybe a little bit longer than a half since we took the break a little early. But the next stage of the journey takes us right to the Mirror of Mephistar. We do not have any other encounters between here and there. So while I grab my notes on the Mirror of Mephistar, there we go. As usual, the cartographer gives a brief announcement as you make your way here. Mirror, mirror, made of ice, look within. But at what price? And as you arrive at the location, you note a giant slab of ice wedged at the end of this craggy ravine. Through its surface, you glimpse a glacial landscape draped in snow. And looking at this location here compared to some of the other ones we've been to recently, this is one that you guys can get your demon grinder like pretty much right up next to. Like you guys are able to park, I want to say no more than 50 feet away as you're walking up to this mirror.
Well, we're here.
Yep, looks like it.
Let's proceed with caution.
Alright. The mirror appears to be the only thing of interest around here. And of course, it is no obvious mirror because it appears to be more of a portal or some kind of window than an actual mirror. How closely do you guys want to investigate this mirror, I should ask?
Well, I guess with that, Dag is definitely interested in how it's set into the mountain or what have you. So he'll be inspecting that. Right up next to it, I guess.
Is there no one else is here? There's no sign of anybody?
Correct, yeah, it's a completely vacant landscape. The wind is still biting and hot, and the temperature around that is actually pretty cold. So you've got this terrible combination of two different extremes hitting you, but otherwise, there's nobody here. Just the weather itself is really the only thing of interest aside from the mirror.
All right, I'm going to use my divine sight in the area, so I'm going to look around.
Yep. Nothing hitting your divine sight other than the mirror itself, and it's not anything that registers per the mechanics because there's no creature that you're sensing. You're just kind of sensing the place, kind of as per the Hallow spell for the second half of the description. So you can tell that this is a very evil sight. Is anybody overtly avoiding the mirror?
No.
Define avoiding.
Like you won't look into it at all?
No, I don't know enough about magic mirrors and this and that to actually not look at the mirror.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid when I'm inspecting the how it's connected to the mountain. So,
yeah, based off of the artificer's knowledge, this is definitely a entirely magical creation, and this is almost like a primordial kind of magic, like an ancient type of magic that created this. If anything, Dag has the impression that this mirror was the first part of this plane to exist, and the rest of Avernus was built around this mirror.
That makes sense. After that, Dag's going to head back to the Demon Grinder, and he's going to start working on his little handheld crossbow contraption to get it to fit onto his wristband or wrist gauntlets as part of his armor.
Gotcha. Before we jump into that, let me first address the mirror situation here. And it would appear that everyone is subject to this here. Glimpsing into the surface of the 20-foot tall mirror, you can see your reflection as soulless, haggard, and encrusted with rime. The apparition stands in a frozen tundra, desolate save for a tower of ice far in the distance. Anyone who cares to may roll a intelligence-based arcana check.
Do you
I'll
want
pass.
just Arcana or something else?
In this instance, we're just looking for arcana.
Ooh, do I get it?
You wish. I was hoping Grulok would natural 20 it and start lecturing everybody about the origin of this site here, but alas, it is not to be.
You know
Nadir
what? I
is
am gonna try it.
closest.
I am going to try it. Screw it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even a natural 20 won't matter because Nadir would need a natural 20 to hit the DC recommended in the module. Dag would need a 19 or a 20 by the look of it. But between the two of you, you're pretty sure that this icy tower that you're looking at is the Tower of Mephistar, lair of the Archdevil Mephistopheles. And each of you who have witnessed your reflection in the mirror, I'm gonna need an intelligence saving throw now.
Tells everybody again.
That's everybody. Oof. Alright, 0 for 4. Wow, if only you didn't have that -1, you would have actually made the DC on the money.
Are nat 20s no longer auto saved anymore?
I didn't think it was auto-save, I thought it was for only attack.
Oh, that's
Oh.
your opinion?
And anyone within 10 feet of me also gets a +3 on their savings throw.
I'm pretty sure I'm right next to him, so...
Alright then. Well, we've got another split here then, as Celephiel and Nadir are the ones this time who are stunned for a full minute. And as you are in this state, you have the very intrusive sensation of Mephistopheles himself, like rifling through your head, looking at your thoughts, your fears, your knowledge, basically learning everything there is to know about you, and it happens in such quick fashion that you're just like, whoa, whoa, what the hell just happened?
When I finally can move, I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to find a rock to sit on.
Well, Avernus is short of nothing if not rocks, so yeah, you are good to go on that.
Are you ill? Why are you sitting down?
You alright?
No. Apparently, I feel like my brain has been ripped apart and put back together again with everything inside of it looked at.
Yes, I too felt the icy fingers of Mephistopheles in my mind. I'm sure that's not good.
Did he put something in there?
It's hard to tell.
We have faced one of these Cambions before, actually back in Faerun, I believe, as part of the Cult of the Dead 3. This one, however, originates from the Tower of Mephistar, some distance away, and you guys can just see it slowly closing the distance from the tower to its side of the mirror. And as it gets closer, you can see that its skin is cadaver blue, and its face is frozen in a scream. And as it gets right up next to the mirror, you can see in one hand, it's holding a kettle of steaming water. And as it gets up next to its side of the mirror, it pours this boiling water over its face to, like, thaw its face out. And it looks at each of you and says, "Welcome to the Mirror of Mephistar!" And then its face just instantly freezes over again in an expression of pained anguish.
Oh, that was nice of him.
I don't think nice was the... I don't think nice really was the effect he was looking for.
Are you afraid?
I fear nothing.
Well, then it was a sad attempt at trying to fear us, because we are powerful, and we can take what we want.
It pours the boiling water over its face again. "You are here because you wish to strike a bargain with Mephistopheles, yes?" And then its face freezes over again.
That is correct.
We seek information.
The Dreadlord is familiar with the information you seek, and he has already assigned terms, if you would wish to hear them.
Speak them.
In exchange for the secret of the puzzle that will release Ubelux from the Standing Stones, you will also gain a permanent increase to either your natural intellect or your natural insight. This is a power that few are granted, but Mephistopheles has that power to grant to you. In exchange for these, he wants the River Styx damned. If this is a task you feel you are well suited for, he just kind of bows. He bows and looks at you all in response, waiting for your reply.
What if you're already very smart like myself?
You would become smarter still.
Does that apply to every single one of us?
Yes, you do. That would apply to each of you. You would each get a +1 to your intelligence or your wisdom, and the party would gain the answer to the secret. So it's a party reward, and then a bunch of individual rewards as well. Yes!
Gee, you don't seem as frightful as you once did.
Well, my power is lethal and deadly nonetheless, and I do represent the Dreadlord Mephistopheles.
Where are these sticks at again? You said there's a stick river. We have seen no such place where sticks flow down a cap. Dag, how did you say it? A river, like with sticks. Where did we see one, or did I miss it?
Yeah, we keep crossing it. This is the river that we're next to.
There's no sticks in the river. I don't see one.
Did you ever listen to that band? That band Styx? That sing that Don't Sail Away song? Every time you come up next to that band and they by the river, that's the river Styx.
What are you talking about? I'm just talking about a river of sticks. Is this a name of a place? Is that what he's trying to say?
The river is named Styx.
Oh, of course. That makes much more sense.
Congratulations, you have now graduated from the 2nd grade.
Well, thank you.
And our task would be to dam the river?
Yes, there is a specific spot that he wants dammed, and he will have me send an emissary with you to make sure that the proper area is done. This emissary would do all the work for damming the river. You basically just gotta be there to like protect it, make sure that it can get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Hello?
I'm agreed.
Well, hold on. Do you have a physical contract we can read?
Well, it's tricky, given our proximity to each other, so here's what I could do for you. He grabs this chunk of ice from the ground nearby him, and he etches the terms of the contract onto the surface of the mirror. That basically they spell out exactly what we've talked about here. You get the bonus, you get the answer to the secret. All you have to do is dam the river Styx. And then the words, they form into chunks of ice on your side of the mirror, and the Cambion tells you that if you find the deal acceptable, you need to chisel that off, melt it, and then drink it to seal the bargain.
I tell him, just a moment. And I kind of gather you all away from the mirror to make sure we're all on the same page. Alright. The contract is straightforward. There's no hidden loopholes in there. That's nothing else. Devils are creatures of their word when the contract is revoked.
Fine. I have no
So
idea.
it's just to guard something while it builds the dam?
I'm sure it might take a while, and I'm sure there are things that will not want the river dammed and will come to stop it.
A chance to defeat evil, and evil battling itself. You know, I'm looking at the lesser of two evils.
Yes, the prospect of having to fight possibly many foes to prevent us from damming the river, but getting that information that we need to get the sword and to get Eltura out of here. The amount of lives we'll be saving doing this is, I think, worth the cost.
And damming the river will also mean that we don't have to worry about spending soul coins to cross the river. We could probably just end up crossing a dry riverbed.
Possibly. This place is a magical creation of evil. Who knows?
Whatever you think is best, I will go through. Kill anything that stands before us, like I have been doing since we all met.
So what exactly does the river Styx do?
Flows. It is rumored to have properties that, like forgetful properties, if you come into too much contact with it. Otherwise, it is just the river of the lower planes. It flows through all of the hell planes and the abyss and stuff like that.
What's the end goal of damming it up?
Who knows? It's Mephistopheles.
Alright. I'll follow your guys' lead. I don't know much about this.
All
Well,
right.
in a situation like this, I insist that you consent to signing this of your own free volition and understanding. I will never want someone to just sign a devil contract because everyone else did.
Well, as I said, lesser of two evils. It's got to be done. We need that information, and we need that sword. So I am in.
Let's get this over with and move.
Squee is also in, but he wants it added as an addendum to the end that when all is said and done, I get the shield.
Why do you need the shield? Well, why?
Because it's
Why
my
is it-
shield. It was mine first.
I don't know how that would work. Or your logic makes sense.
Well, what if somebody was wearing your boots and you knew that they was your boots because you owned them before? What would you do?
No, I would cut their head off and take them back like a normal person. Isn't? Oh
That's
wait.
that's not what normal people do, Gulak, first of all. And,
Well, I mean, in my where I'm from, what they do.
possibly. The other fact is I don't want to alter that contract in any way from what it is now. But right now, all we have to do is protect somebody who's damming a river. And otherwise, everything's good.
So you're
Who
saying
are
you
we
don't-
protecting?
Well, it's them fighting themselves, but at least, and the shield doesn't need to change ownership. I think Southfield's done a fine job holding on to it.
Can Squee at least add in that he gets a sandwich?
I think it's acceptable.
We can ask.
Now we're seriously doing like the Broodwitch stuff. He's having a pact with the devil so that he can have a sandwich.
I don't like the merits.
Well, I will leave that choice up to John, but given his character's insistence on getting a good meal, which I don't understand why, considering we were right there at the place where the fatty chickens were literally growing on trees and falling on the ground, why nobody took even one of them, considering how much focus we've had on food sucks here. Beside that point,
I thought we did.
we didn't pick any up. I watched the video. We talked about it. We talked about the interest of doing it, but we never actually did it. But beside that point, the fact that Squee has been so insistent on getting a good meal, we can arrange that his ice cube that he drinks, depending on what John agrees to, he can either have a +1 to his intelligence or wisdom, or a sandwich. The rest of you guys, +1 to your intelligence or wisdom. But John, I think that's fitting with the Squeak character. He might want a sandwich instead.
All right.
Okay.
And you never actually cast the spell. Yes, but I said I was looking to see if I had the material components to cast that particular. Well, you didn't cast the spell, so now there's ogres, okay?
So, are we in agreement then? We are going to acquiesce to this deal.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
This will protect us all.
Chug-a-lug,
Fine.
chug-a-lug.
I'll protect you. But dear, don't worry.
Okay, I drink.
As well. Approach the mirror and I'm like, these terms are acceptable. Except for the sandwich. Or maybe not.
I say a blessing to Tyr before drinking.
And
I'll drink.
the worst villain you could ever sick on PCs. Throat leeches! Ha ha ha! Just kidding. Actually, I think I just invented a new one. Miniaturized gelatinous cubes that can just be disguised inside of
You
your
take that
drink.
back right
and then
now.
when you drink it, they
You take that
expand
back.
inside of your body
Nope.
so that you're
I
already
take it
inside of them.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Would you like some ice cubes with your drink? Why, I sure would. They're not
Those-
ice cubes.
Nope. No cube anything in my drinks. Not at all.
All right. Proceeding from the Mirror of Mephistar, we are actually... Well, 1 second. Let me backtrack because Jason did ask the question, who's this person that's coming with us? And now that you've all agreed, the Cambion creates a magical imp out of snow on its side of the mirror. And somehow manages to pass this imp through the mirror to your guys' side. somehow, even still, the thing does not just dissolve into a puddle of water in the intense heat that you guys are surrounded in. It actually seems just fine, being an icy creature in hell. And it has but a little, just a little satchel on its side as its only equipment. And as it comes across to the other side of the mirror, it looks up at all of you and just goes, "Hello."
So this is the answer to the question, to the statement that people in hell want ice water. We just happen to have some.
Oh, all right. Are we ready to go?
So what is it you're going to do?
I have with me some important items that I can use to dam the river Styx, oh my.
Alright, let's get this done and over with.
Oh, your dwarf friend speaks very wisely.
I do.
And
as
you
well.
can take us the most direct path.
I mean, you've got the demon grinder, I think, so you'll be taking me, but I can certainly point you in the right direction.
All right, let's get moving.
Oh boy. Do you have a map of the plain of Avernus?
I show him the map.
The imp, the Sulu imp, points at the kind of western center of the map, not too far from the obelisk, actually, the Pit of Shumrath. And it seems that will be your destination, which is going to require another fricking journey across the river Styx.
Alright, let's get this going. With that, Dag moves the demon grinder.
All right, and we got a damn good result there on the percentile this time, which will not only give us a free teleport across the river Styx again, but it's actually going to place us on the eastern side of the Pit of Shumrath, kind of in the western reaches of the Hellwasp nests. So you guys can see some of them flying up behind you, like at a close distance of maybe 150 feet, like right around here. And as usual, the cartographer, as you arrive, here you find a sticky situation. Poor Shumrath isn't the fiend it used to be. Bit of a lengthy description here for the Pit of Shumrath, so bear with me a moment. A deep rift slashes across the surface of Avernus for as far as the eye can see. The canyon is over a mile deep and filled with a lake of green slime that undulates as though breathing. From a nearby cliff, a tributary of the river Styx cascades down into the slime. Dangling from a bent iron crane that leans out over the chasm is an iron cage containing a hairless, green-skinned humanoid wearing shackles on its ankles. The crane lowers the cage by a chain into the slime, immersing the creature in the goo for a minute before hoisting it back out. This dunking continues again and again, and the trapped creature seems helpless to stop it. This is the situation we find ourselves in upon arriving at this fetid lake of slime.
That looks disgusting. Again.
Each of you suddenly hear a thought repeating in your heads that you initially take to be from the thing on the chain that's getting lowered down. But you quickly come to realize it's not that thing that's talking to you. There seems to be something inside the pit itself that is speaking telepathically to your group.
What's it say? What's it say?
It's almost like it's on a leap, or a cycle here. And it says, I failed to show proper deference to Bel. I will have my revenge. Failed to show proper deference to Bel. I will have my revenge. And repeat ad nauseum in a variety of different enunciations.
Well, that's getting annoying quickly.
Agreed. Okay, Imp, what do you need to do?
Oh, well, if all you need is for me to do my thing, it heads down to the narrowest point of the tributary river here on the eastern side that you guys have approached from, and it sets about hammering these sticks that it has in its satchel into the rocky ravine walls. If you would kindly stand guard while I work, this shouldn't take but a few moments. Oh.
See,
All right.
Gulak River Sticks.
Are you making fun of me?
Well, no, he's got sticks from the river. River Sticks.
Oh, oh, you're such a kid, idiot. I love you. You're so funny, my dear. Speechless, I know. I have that effect on people. That's fine.
Stay alert. Might be trouble.
I'm always on guard. Nothing will get past me. Nothing will get past any of us while I'm here.
Dag will stand guard by manning the harpoon gun on the demon grinder.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'm going to stand nearby, hammer out, and ready to protect the Imp.
Cool. Jason, have you devised mechanics yet for that thing that you're building?
Like out of game or in game?
I guess either.
As far as I'm concerned, it's just a hand crossbow. There's some rules for it somewhere. I found them a week or so ago. I would have to look them up again.
Gotcha. Feel free to add that onto your sheet here, as we've had enough passage of travel now that you're able to construct that. Now, considering the stage of the game we're at, this is a bit of a disappointing encounter for my part, because, you know, I always like to just continually escalate the difficulty curve, but I know it can be very satisfying to be at a high level and then just all of a sudden encounter a bunch of weakling creatures that you can just frickin' wipe the floor with. And, Lord knows you guys have certainly earned it after all of the horrible high CR battles that we've gotten ourselves into during our time in Avernus, and more Elturel. Elturel was a lot more of a challenge, I think, than Avernus has been so far. Avernus has been very plot-oriented, but we've kind of taken the path that avoided the more challenging combats. Spoiler alert. In any case, the force that comes to meet you to prevent your damming of the river Styx takes place in the form of 8 spined devils. And I will remind you that spined devils are the very first devil that your characters fought back at level 1 and 2, back in Baldur's Gate when you were still fighting the cultists. And they were really nasty back then. I mean, when they fling those frickin' tail spines at you, they were kicking some ass. So it's kind of cool that you guys get to encounter them again in this capacity, where you can just easily frickin' destroy them. This is a combat, I think, that best takes place in Theater of the Mind. We don't really need any map for it. It's a pretty open terrain. If your character is the type that wants to find cover, that won't be a problem. If you want to take to the sky, you've got the entire world above you to do so. If you want to fire the harpoon gun from the demon grinder, you've got that option as well. But there's 8 of these spine devils that are coming into the combat here. And I'm not even going to bother rolling initiative on it, because they're not sneaky, there's no surprise or ambush. They're actually cackling madly on the wind as they're soaring down towards you guys. So any of you with ranged attack options have an open field to start blowing these things up before they can even get into range to start flinging their tail spikes at you. Grulok might kind of be like, come on, hurry up and get over here. The rest of you guys might be able to do something. I don't know. What's your plan in response to seeing these 8 weakling devils flying at you?
Well, I am going to wait for them to get into melee range. So if any of them wants to start plucking these guys down, I'm going to set my shield and get ready for their charge.
I will probably do a fireball that's been altered to do thunder damage to get like a group of them as they're swooping in before they reach the melee guys.
Sure thing. How about you, Jason?
I'm actually looking for it right now. I'm looking for the stats and all that for the harpoon gun.
Okay. How about you, James? Oh, I forgot I cast a silent spell. Again.
Sorry, I have a little situation here. 1 sec.
I told you before, the proper response is, what? What? Sorry, just kidding. Do your thing there, brother. No rush. Take your time. Justin, you've got the big AoE here, so why don't you go ahead and fling that fireball. You're going to hit a minimum of 4 of them, plus a d4. So if you roll a 4 on this, you'll hit all 8 of them.
Sorry, I'm back. What was the question?
Oh, you're good. No worries, man. Okay, so Justin, you're going to hit 5 of these Spine Devils with your fireball. Roll the damage. I'll roll the saves. Thunderball, I guess I should say, the 5th James Bond movie. Very cool. Jason is using the harpoon gun on the Demon Grinder to attack these things, and I was just asking you, James, what ranged options do you have, if any, to hit these things, or are you waiting for them to get in close to you as well?
Oh, very much waiting for them to get within melee range so he can obliterate them as they come in.
Okay.
And plus, he's near. He's protecting. He's more in a protection mode. He's allowing him to do his work, but he's nearby him to stop them from these demons to get to him.
All right. Well, that could have gone a lot better. I rolled damn good on my saving throws there, so 3 out of 4 of them are actually going to make the save, meaning that out of the 8 that could have potentially been killed, only 1 of them is dead. 3 of them are injured, and... Or actually, no, I need to roll 1 more save. There we go. So 2 of them are dead, 3 of them are injured, and 3 of them are still untouched. That would bring it to you, Jason, if you're ready to take an attack on either a uninjured or a one that has just been thundered.
I can't find the actual damage for the harpoon gun.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here.
It's that right there.
There it is. I knew that. I had it up earlier. I don't know why I don't have it now. So, just, you want me to generically roll this, or how do you want me to do that?
Yeah, just use the attack block that comes on the sheet there, and then we'll add any pertinent modifiers after the fact. All right. I think we have enough time for you to get another one of those attacks before they are in your midst. That one will hit.
Okay, and I will be going for uninjured.
Okay. Well, now we have 4 of them that are injured, about the same degree, and then 2 of them that are still at perfect health by the time they get into melee, at which point, Dawn, go ahead, take your melee attacks, and then, James, you can go with yours at the same time. Are you attacking injured or uninjured?
Whatever hits me first. Whatever comes up to me first.
Okay. Oof. Alright. Well, Grulok takes out an uninjured one in 2 swipes. And Celephiel does the same with an injured one. So now we have but 5 of the original 8, one of which is at perfect health, the rest of which have taken some degree of damage. I will take probably my only round of attack here with them. Spine Devils, alphabetical order, they're all the way at the bottom. Okay, Tail Spines, coming in. Distance of about 20 feet on these before we get fully into melee. Those are just going to ping right off of Celephiel. These 2 are coming at Nadir. I don't know if the 13 is a hit. Those 2 are on Grulok, which will definitely not hit. And the final 2 on Dag, which looks like one, if not both of them hit.
I have half cover.
Okay, so the first one will definitely miss. The natural 20 will bypass your cover and hit. So the
Right.
3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5. Keep in mind that some of that is fire in case you have any resistance.
Copy that. 16 points.
Very cool. And we'll recycle the initiative back the way we had it before. So, Justin?
I already threw my chill touch up.
Ah, you went before me, I see. Okay, 4 down, 4 to go. Jason, it'll be back to your turn.
Do I still have range to do another harpoon attack?
You do, because this one was hitting you at a 20-foot distance.
Okay, so the one that hit me, I'm definitely hitting that one.
Okay. Definitely hit it with the second attack there. And it's still floating up there in front of you with a mischievous grin on its face. And then James and Dawn, you guys can Simo your attacks again. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. Grulok killed the other uninjured one. There's only 3 left now, and they're all pretty busted up. And here comes Celephiel with a flank, at least, on the second attack, so that will hit and finish off all but 2 of them. I will take my 2 attacks here, one of which is on Dag, the other is on Nadir. Okay, this time on Dag, I'm coming in close. And despite its best fat bastard impression, get in my belly! It just can't do anything to you. And I'll try the same thing on Nadir. Oh, goodness, the bite, I think, will land. At least it wasn't the natural 20.
Yeah, I got a 15.
Okay, so the fork will miss you, but the bite will land. And these things are going to fight to the death, it would seem. So, Justin, you may take your probably last turn here. Yeah, buddy.
You
Very
dare touch me.
do, 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 do. All right, and then Jason, that one that was attacking you is now in melee.
Copy that. I will, let's take a swipe with the hammer, and then I will have Panzer move into position behind him.
Okay. Oh, very nice. And a home run with the +2 light hammer knocks this thing out of the park and into the green goo below.
Too bad it wasn't max damage. Minimum, really?
Right? Yeah, these things didn't have much of a hit point pool to begin with. I expected Justin to kill like most of them with that fireball. I was shocked that there were as many that were still coming at you as there were. Even still, very quick combat, well played. And as far as damming the river, the imp has 5 of these shatter sticks here, which that is the description of them right there. 12-inch long, 4-pound stake, iron mined on Cania, 8th layer of the 9 hells. When embedded in earth or pounded into solid rock, it emits a seismic vibration in a 20-foot radius. When the effects end, the shatter stick breaks apart, becoming useless, and all structures within it take about 35 points of damage. So all 5 of these, placed strategically at the narrowest point of the tributary here, is going to do the deal in damming up the river here in about the same amount of time as it takes you guys to finish off these Spine Devils. It takes you guys 3 rounds to do it. By the time you guys are done, the Imp is pretty much already done placing the Shatter Sticks, and it's now running towards you guys like Han Solo running from the bunker on Endor. Go! Move! Move! Except it's Sulu. Go! Run! Oh!
Okay, I'm going to take cover against whatever's going to happen next.
I'm
All
still on like alert because I'm like, that couldn't have been all that was coming after us. There's got to be something bigger.
And sure enough, it seems like
I
that's...
agree.
It seems like that's all there was, or at least that's all they're able to send after you before the job is complete. As the seismic activity of all the Shatter Sticks triggers a huge rockfall that fills the gully, creating a dam. And here's just a bit of behind-the-scenes information here. I'm not going to give you all of it, because there's still a lot of cool stuff here that could potentially feature in the campaign going forward. But the entity that is within the pit of Shumroth, now that the river has been dammed, it's going to start regenerating its mind and reforming its body, which is that of a pit fiend. And that's pretty much all I'm going to give you guys at this point, because there is more that it may possibly do in the story going forward.
Watch your audio.
Oh, sorry. There's more that this thing may do in the story going forward, but for now, all we need to know out of game is that Mephistopheles basically commissioned you guys to free this pit fiend.
Not
Oh,
that
lovely.
we may never know that in game, but yeah.
Exactly.
So after Sulu does the deed, it's going to go, well, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. I was expecting to need to dam the whole big-ass river we were crossing over there.
I thought there was going to be an epic battle filled with demons and devils. Oh my. And as it says that, its form finally seems to succumb to the hell around it, and it just like instantly dissolves like a ball of snow wood in this layer of hell.
All right, looks like we're on our own to get back to the mirror.
Sulu?
Does that fulfill our obligation and grant us our boon?
Well, yes and no. You still have to go back to the mirror, But other than that, it would seem that you have completed the terms of the arrangement.
Yeah, since like we don't automatically just gain knowledge or whatever, I'm like, I guess we gotta head back to the mirror because otherwise we didn't immediately receive our boon, so we have to head back to get it.
All right, let's head on back.
With that, Dag will start moving along in the demon grinder.
Sounds like a plan.
Before we take off, though, we should check the bodies to see if there's any coins on them.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, you want to hold on to some of the coins now?
No, we're going to need them to get back and forth across the river, and after this is over, any that we can, we're going to release.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, Slavil, you do realize that these are the souls of the damned because they came to hell in the first place.
Exactly.
Yes, but even evil shouldn't be tormented in such a fashion.
Oh, okay.
These are the
Not
souls
to
of
mention
evil
how many
mortals.
of these souls came from Elturel, where most of those people didn't even know what they were getting into.
That is a possibility, but I believe most of these are older than that.
Still, how many cities and civilizations have they done that to? Either way,
Are there any coins on them?
Good idea, but these lowly devils were not in possession of any coins.
Okay. Well, then we gotta move on.
Well, it seems that for now, the fates are with you again in at least getting you back across the river to reach the Mirror of Mephistar. This is another short journey as well that you are still able to complete before your next long rest. You're starting to feel a little exhausted by the time you do get to the mirror, though, so this might be the place for your next long rest and your next potential alignment shift here as well. But in any case, upon arriving to the Mirror of Mephistar, you are granted the boons that you were promised. So again, I will talk to John about that, whether he wants the attribute or the sandwich, but in your guys' cases, simply increase intelligence or wisdom by 1.
I increased my wisdom by 1.
increased intelligence by 1.
Cool, cool.
I went from an 8 wisdom to a 9.
Wow.
I increased my wisdom by 1.
Yeah, my wisdom went from a 12 to a 13.
Alright then. And we're actually well ahead of the planned schedule here for tonight, to the point where we will actually be wrapping it up here pretty shortly, notwithstanding our usual end-of-game banter, but I don't think it's going to take us very much longer to get to where I had planned us to get to. In addition to the boons that you've been granted, the Cambion reveals to you that Ubelux must swear fealty to Mephistopheles to escape the Standing Stones.
That was it
Alright.
the entire time?
Stupid box needs to do all that. Okay.
That is all that is required. Simply that.
If he swears fealty to Mephistopheles, then he will be freed, yes.
Very well. We'll let him know.
Stupid box should... That's right, James, you tell him. I like the original.
Alright, let us be off.
Alright. And it appears that our fortunes take a turn for the worse here again, as we do not gain the benefits of an insta-travel across the river. So we will need to use the Stygian dock unless we want to try to barter with the limited time that we still have. In either case, before we get to that point, what do you guys want to do about the long rest? Are we going to try to push it, or are we going to take our long rest as usual?
We'll take our long rest as usual and see what happens.
All right, let's get those wisdom saves again. Good thing Nadir can use that boost, and the only person that failed it is the guy that already failed it. Let's see how Squee does. Too many monsters. Alright, here's our character folder. Squee! Hey, alright. 17 on the die for Squee. That will do the trick. So once again, you are able to retain your alignments and not subject yourselves to a lawful evil change.
Why does it look like that he's rolling for disadvantage?
I don't know. He might have that selected on his character sheet. I just haven't even gone back to switch it.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Upon arriving at the Stygian dock again, the barbed devil greets you with a smile. Ah, you just can't get enough of me, can you? My services are truly in demand. I have quite a deal for you today. 2 soul coins.
We'll take them.
Oh, I meant that you would pay that. Haha, this dwarf always. He's got a terrific sense of humor.
You know, since we're such regular, loyal customers, perhaps 1 soul coin will be enough this time.
Well, it's a fluctuating amount based on the demand. You can, of course, roll a persuasion check there if you want, as he's rattling on about the explanations of why it's a different amount each time you come here. But in your case, I can make an exception. Yes, I have collected a good bit off of you lately, so 1 coin will do.
Is there any left in the party treasure?
There is 1 coin left, so I will take that. There we go. Soul coin 0. We are out. Could potentially add some more at some point, though. Alright. And we have another journey across the greater expanse of Avernus before we arrive back at the obelisk, but that is, again, something I hadn't planned on any encounters for. We've had plenty of random encounters already in this stage, and planned encounters, I might add. So the trip back to the obelisk is an expeditious one. And upon arriving back at that site, remember you have to park the Demon Grinder at the bottom of the hill, so it's a bit of a hike to get there. The Ubelux looks at you guys. Oh, you're back! It's so good to see you again.
Yeah, do you know why you're entrapped in there?
I told you why. It was for stealing soul coins.
And who do you owe your fealty to?
My fealty is owed to no one. No one owns me.
So I feel, why do you go in the odd, roundabout direction with this? Just tell him.
I was just waiting to see if he already knew the answer before we actually made the trip over there. You have to swear fealty to Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles requires your fealty to release you.
Oh,
That's what I said.
son of a bitch! Oh, I've gone so long with as my own being Nobody owns me. Oh, are you certain there is no other way?
That is the way we were told. You can be your own man in a cage, or you can cage your independence and be free.
Oh, very well. And Ubelux goes about swearing fealty to Mephistopheles before your eyes, whereupon black ice forms around the standing stones and causes them all to crack at once. Ubelux finally steps free of the ring of standing stones, feeling the hot wind biting at his face, crying, "Finally, I am free!" into the wind. And it looks at all of you with like this big smile on its face, like, yeah, like, so you guys like want to hang out or like do something right now, or like, I mean, I got the world at my fingertips here. Like, what do you guys want to do? And then it real. Go ahead.
Oh, well, you can take us to the Temple of Blood, whatever it's called.
The Bloody Citadel.
Well, yes, I can definitely point you in the right direction. I mean, I don't know exactly where the Citadel is, but I do know somebody that does.
You told us that you knew where it was for us to release you.
I didn't say that, did I?
You did.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, but when you're in prison for 6,000 years like I was, you'll say anything to get out. But I do know that this guy, he definitely knows where you gotta go, okay? Will that do? I mean, it's gonna have to do, otherwise, we got a problem here. So let me just tell you. It's, the Death Knight, Olanthius. He's the guardian of the tomb, the crypt of the Hell Riders. And he points it out on your map to the southeast of your current position. He knows the location of the Bleeding Citadel. He was once one of Zariel's most loyal followers. And I can also tell...
Again?
What?
What's his name again?
Like you're gonna be able to pronounce it anyway. Ha ha ha! His name is Olanthius.
I look over to Lulu to see if that sparks anything.
She has a bit of an inquisitive look on her face, but as she makes eye contact with Nadir, she just kind of gives a bit of a shrug, as best she can with her elephant body. I can also tell you that for glory, this is a passphrase that you're going to want to remember, because it opens the catacombs where many of Zariel's fallen comrades are interred.
I think our Paladin of Glory should be able to remember that.
Well, I would hope so, but
I
he couldn't
should.
even remember the name Mephistopheles.
Your taunting is reducing my ability to want to spare you at this moment.
Imagine being in prison for 6,000 years. And then you die after not even an hour. How sad would that be? Well,
Certainly you would not assault Mephistopheles' newest acquisition after having such a hand in bringing me into his service.
I don't think he'll be that upset.
Is there anything we need to say to this Death Knight? Like, is he your friend? I mean,
He's not a friend. You might have to beat the information out of him, but something tells me you guys are more than capable of that based on how a couple of you are eyeing me right now.
Shut up. Don't look at me. disgusted. Pathetic.
Dag's gonna pull out his jar of whiskey and take a swig.
Oh, can gorilla get a taste?
All right, let's leave this creature.
Go Bassett to Gorilla.
Anything else we need to know before we go? Considering we did a lot to help you out just now.
That's pretty much everything I know. I mean, the Bleeding Citadel isn't a location that most people find themselves at here, but I know that Olanthius, he's been there before. So he can definitely give you the answers that you need if you're persuasive or dominating enough.
Yeah, better for your sake.
Are you trying to do the Batman voice?
I don't know who Batman is.
No, this is my voice.
No, you intentionally made your voice deeper.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
you just
being
did
menacing.
right there. You just did that.
Well,
then,
fellas, what's your next move? You got any beef with this guy, or do you want to proceed to the Crypt of the Hell Riders?
I do. To be honest, I do have some beef with him.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with him lying to us. That kind of broke the deal.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do have
but
the
again,
information. We
We
have the
gave him
information.
what he wanted before he gave us what we wanted, so...
yeah, and unfortunately, we didn't have an actual contract with it either.
Right. So I mean, there's no in writing contractual thing. So
Like that would
I have no
matter.
problem just putting the kibosh on him right now. To be honest.
No, You know what? Time is of the essence. The city needs us more than we need the wasting of time of bashing this thing to an oblivion.
There's no point in it.
Fine.
Very well. Looks like you live another day, Oubliette.
All right. Well, maybe our paths will cross again. Until then.
And it vanishes. And well,
All right, with that, let's hop in the Demon Grinder and make our way.
fantastic. That is where we will close it off for this evening, as the Crypt of the Hell Riders is the first step out of what has been a long stretch of narrative plot here in Chapter 3. We had some battles to start off Chapter 3, and then a long stretch of just, let's help people, let's get our war machine, let's explore. We started down one path, we abandoned that one, we came onto this one. And now we're probably about 80%, 85%, I want to say, done with the Path of Demons here, as we are on our way to Crypt of the Hell Riders. And that is going to put us back on a battle grid map for a good part of next session, if not even the entire session. So if we've been jonesing for a little hack and slash and some battle and some tactical strategy, we're going to have that here in the next session. I had a lot of fun doing the plot stuff, though. I didn't know exactly what route we were going to take, so I only kind of briefly read down the beginning of each path just to get us enough of the way before I was convinced we were going to go down one path or the other. And I've had a lot of fun with it over the last couple weeks.
And also, if we run into anywhere where we find those fatty chickens, we are going to take, slaughter, and eat one of those fatty chickens.
Probably several.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do know where they are. It's just a matter of trying to navigate back to that site, but you might find them around in other places as well.
Maybe Gulak gets hungry. He'll just take Squee's new sandwich.
It's a very real possibility.
I've actually enjoyed learning the story of this. I've purposely tried to stay away from spoilers on this So, because I've looked at it over the last couple of years or however long it's been out, and I've really thought about looking at it, and I'm glad I never did.
Yeah, I'm digging how much detail they put into it, and I don't know how much more of the side tangents we're gonna go down, as we're kind of getting more into the thick of the main plot now, and it's kind of full steam ahead on accomplishing a lot of that. And I don't know how much time your characters are gonna take to accomplish any of the tertiary goals. But I had a blast in the early levels as well. Like, we spent a lot longer in Baldur's Gate than I think most groups would have. I think most groups are just like, let's get the Cult of the Dead 3 and let's immediately get to Candlekeep and get to Avernus. Whereas we had backstory with this group that we tied into what was going on with the Cult of the Dead 3 that we then were able to kind of wrap up in that plot.
Yeah, and I know I've heard from other people I know who have played this that a lot of groups tend to focus on like the Mad Max aspect of the vehicles and the vehicle combat, and they allow them just to run around doing that kind of stuff for a while.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of looked at that more as just a transportation method and a way to force the players into that quandary of how do we spend these soul coins? Do we spend them? Do we save them for other things? The combat can be fun, but I feel like we had one of those. We might have another one before the campaign's out, but I don't know how much time we're going to spend driving around just shooting at other vehicles. Because at least when we're playing on the grid, we can move our characters around. When we're playing on this, it's a bit too much like Star Wars ship combat, where things can get a little bogged down.
Yeah, that was one of the things that interested me about the game, that made me want to look into it. When I was watching videos on the minis, they were showing people playing that particular part with the Mad Max style combats going on with minis on the maps.
That's cool. That's cool. I dig that.
You know, and I also think it's really cool that we're going to go up 2 levels by the time our next game hits. So that's going to be pretty powerful right there.
Man, this dude can't even show up on time to one session.
I show up on time to most sessions. It's just the last 2. And this session, I was only 5 minutes late.
Well, I mean, that's as they say in Star Wars, that's a point of view thing. Because I was texting you guys like 30 minutes before we started, like, hey, be in your seats here, guys, and then you showed up 35 minutes later.
Yeah, but we never usually have problems with my technicals, so
we usually don't. It's just the one time that everybody's late is, of course, the one time I will have problems with it, and then we'll just be even later than planned. But it turned out to be a non-issue tonight because we were late and we wrapped up early just because we got through 3 pages of content, and I was expecting us to only get through 2. I usually read through enough stuff that we get through maybe 80% of it in a given session, so I've always got some left over for next week. This is one of the rare times where it's, oh cool, we're actually ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that goes to show you, I mean, how DMing is never what you plan, it's what happens.
Oh, absolutely. How about that play with viewers tomorrow night? That should be a good deal of fun. Most of us here will be involved in that, minus James, of course.
Yep, my character is all set and ready, and my spells are set and ready, and my lovely wife may be joining us to play.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know we've kind of brushed up on if we have enough people interested. I will step back and kind of take a more just a role play or RP role and coaching any newer players that need it.
For sure. We're looking at a 6-player table, 7 if you count me, the DM. The plan is to have 3 of the seats kind of constantly filled by our role-playing unlimited crew, and then the other 3 seats are kind of open to a fluctuating cast of players depending on availability and scheduling. But we're also going to have those constant 3 seats occasionally open up as well. If we have such an interest of people who want to play, Jason may step out and give up his seat for a little while to somebody who wants to play. Don may step out for a bit. Justin may step out for a bit. It's all kind of open, and because we're all veteran, experienced players, even though they're stepping out and giving up their seat, they'll still be present to kind of help mentor a newer player, help them create a character, or kind of guide them through their first couple combats. Like, these are some of your bread and butter abilities you're going to rely on a lot. This is something you might not use very often, but here's how it'll help you circumstantially, and stuff of that nature. And it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely, and especially with newer players, it'll be easier to help encourage them to pick up the persona and actually role play rather than just rolling the dice and watching the stats. So there's the 2 sides of it, and that's one of the harder things to grasp, especially as a new player.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, speaking of the role-play aspect of it, the R-O-L-E play, that's something I just had a lot of fun with over the last couple sessions. Again, we kind of had an extensive narrative plot section there, but it was a chance for all of us to kind of stretch those muscles out again as well, and it kind of helps us get back into character in a different respect as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're kind of noticing, I think, that Grulak may have been affected by this playing, because we're all feeling the pull. We're fighting it out, and me spending an inspiration point to do so made me really realize I'm doing that. So I'm like, Grulak's acting a bit different lately.
A little bit.
No, I don't think so. I disagree.
I'll cut his head off just like any normal person. What?
That's about right, if you think about it.
Yeah, and I mean, the conversation kind of took off to the point where I didn't feel it necessary to try to interject his squee so importantly there, but his response was going to basically be like, well, you understand my point then. The point is you want your boots back. How we go about getting it, that's where we differ on opinion, but you want your shit back.
Well, are you half-orc or full-orc?
I have.
So still, that society is very brutal. At least in my mind, it always has been.
Sure, absolutely. And if you look at the background and everything, it would make sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm joking, but could he gravitate towards it? Absolutely. Was he like that before? Not the case. There's definitely.
Dag doesn't know that though. He never knew him before. So
true.
Kind of, this is normal perspectives for Dag, so that's why he didn't really even bat an eyelash at it.
Yeah, whereas my character, having once been like leading you guys in that whole situation we were in, I kind of remember what type of people you are, your personalities, and I'm just like, you must be a bit weird.
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm showing it a little more clearly, if that makes sense. Like that there is a change.
Oh yeah, all the threats of violence and the very be like, I'm just gonna cut his head off.
It's not as blunt as back off, you commie bastard.
That was, yes.
I wonder how many groups have come into this adventure playing all evil characters, and they make it to this stage of the adventure, and then they meet Mordenkainen, and they're just like, you know what, we're gonna roll him, we're gonna take his and that's where the campaign ends. Because Grulak was definitely like, I want to take this guy, man. I'm not digging this guy. This guy's kind of like not my type of person right here. I think he should experience some sucking of the butt. And the rest of the group was just kind of like, yeah, I don't think have the proper appreciation for who this guy is.
James, did you name your sword the Butt?
That's a foig, sir.
It actually looks like it says Thabut on the blade itself. It's Thabut.
I told you that confidence, Dan. I did not think you were going to say it out loud.
Sorry, man, I couldn't help myself. I was having too much fun.
Player knows, PC doesn't.
Yeah, it's been a good time for sure.
Indeed, we're having a lot of fun here in Forgotten Realms, and I think we're finally over the halfway point as well. We might have even been there before we took our break and came back to it, because we're coming up near the end of Chapter 3 now, and it's a 5-chapter game. So we're definitely at least over halfway. I don't know how long we can expect to play Chapters 4 and 5, but looking through them as much as I have the impression that they're a bit shorter chapters. Like, everything we're doing is to lead up to, okay, and now we're there, and now we're done. So I don't know, again, how much longer we can expect to play this, but we're having a lot of fun in Forgotten Realms. It's going to be very fun to get back into Enemir tomorrow night with our new format, too, with the play with viewers. Jason pointed it out as well. Took me 20 years to go galactic with Enemir, to where we're finally kind of bringing in the other homebrew systems and the other recognized campaign worlds into the Enemir mythos. So it'll be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be an interesting experience, and we've had a lot of interested players. So I'll particularly be interested to see who shows up at the tabletop and kind of gauge from there just what we're going to do with this play with viewers. If it's something we want to keep once a week, if we want to do 2 a week, if we want to double up 2 different sessions on Wednesday night. I mean, we got options. We'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Absolutely. Looking forward to getting back to Enemir. I really love playing in Enemir. I really do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to my new class. And I mean, the playing the sorcerer, but playing more of a storm sorcerer. So I'm not using the standard spells that I always pick. So it's going to be interesting to see what this new combination looks like.
Yeah, one respect we haven't even really touched on that'll be interesting is we're not building a group. Everybody's building the character they want to play and putting it into a group of other characters that people want to play. So as Braylon pointed out, do we have a healer in the party? Initially, the reason we didn't, because if you remember, and I meant to touch on this, but we're in the era of Enemir where magical healing is gone. That's one aspect of how this extra galactic gameplay is going to benefit us, because your characters are not native to Enemir. You're not beholden to those restrictions. So somebody could play a cleric and show up on this world and have this magical healing power that no other cleric of Enemir has. That could also lead us down new and exciting story paths that could influence the future of the story. But just for now, it should be known that, I mean, you can play whatever kind of character you want from any system, from any setting. We had somebody asking about something from Dragonlance. We had somebody asking about something from Eberron. So it'll be interesting to see how all of these come together. And again, because we're not creating a group, how is this cohesion going to work, if at all?
Oh yeah, Valtharis, or James, his character sounds really interesting, and he had me help him with his background, and I left it kind of vague, and it ends with kind of a fire in the sky episode.
Okay.
So he could be picked up and brought somewhere, but he's got a real interesting kobold.
Nice.
Just a kobold monk. Just interesting.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how all of these characters come together individually and as a group. It's going to be something that I've not really seen anything before. I imagine it's kind of similar to what they do at gaming conventions, because you have to be very flexible as a GM, just allowing people to come in with their characters, having just a kind of a broad stroke of these are the characters you can create and join at the session. And I've never done anything like that before. I've never been to a gaming convention. I'm not familiar with people doing this kind of format in the streaming universe, so I'm interested.
Actually, most of the time in conventions, or if they run something like this at a comic shop, they all have pre-gen characters. So they just
Ah.
hand them out at the table and say, "Okay, which character do you want?" Which,
Gotcha.
and so they're all ready made. So you don't have to you don't have to take the time to build a new character to play in that particular game.
And the exception to that rule is the quote-unquote living worlds, where you have a character that can go from adventure to adventure, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I've been in a couple of those games too, where it's a real interesting mix. And I've also played in the pre-gen character games, and even my games I have pre-generated characters because it saves time and allows. But I have the players enough choice to choose what they want to choose, so it can be pretty one-sided.
I dig it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If nothing else, we're doubling up on our D&D here, and we're gonna meet some new gamers and have some new experiences. And Role Playing Unlimited will be the place to go for all your role playing needs. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Evil Dawn, Jason, John with us in spirit, James there on my side of the table, and J-Man himself. Thank you all so much for being here tonight.
Thanks a lot. It's been a great game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing the deer and getting to role play his dual nature, if you will, his inner struggles and his history. And it's been coming out a little bit in the last couple games, so it's been fun to do.
I like it.
And I look forward to the next game, and I do look forward to tomorrow's game where I be a little halfling menace.
Heart and soul here. This is all my dream comes. Gotta let you guys know that love y'all and have a good night.
Have a good one. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you, everybody. We will catch you tomorrow night for Play with Viewers. Are you with us?